good evening everyone. This is Ganesh Kumar and you're watching RNJ Academy. I'm here before you with an interesting story, and through the story we'll learn how to continue the conversation and how to speak in English. Though I have been trying to convey a message that speaking in English is not very a big task, but few of you have been requesting me and texting that I should continue the story. So I'm here with a new story, very interesting story. The story is really a love story, and it starts from the village of Pagambarpur. The name of the village is Pagambarpur. Actually, there lived Ganesh. Ganesh used to live in Pagambarpur. He was very poor. Actually, his parents died in an accident. He was alone there with his grandparents. He was poor in the sense that he did not have a source of money. A person is poor if he doesn't have source of money. Otherwise, no person is poor. If God has given you limbs, eyes, sense organs, so you are perfect, you can do any work. So Ganesha was dependent on his grandparents. He had very small piece of land where the crop was not that much enough to survive for the whole year. So they had to suffer. The grandparents and Ganesha, they used to depend on the mercy of the villagers. Ganesha used to work in the field of villagers, and the villagers used to give him daily wages, majduri. It used to be continue. It was to be continue. One day, when Ganesha was working in a field, the master of the house called him home and told him to take food. Ganesha was happy because he used to get rough and tough food, but means proper food he didn't. He used to get by luck. So Ganesha went to there where the master of the house used to live. He had called him on dinner. Not dinner, but for food. So Ganesha went there, he took his food, and he was listening to the master of the house while the master was teaching his child, his own child. It was evening time. Ganesha saw this. He was interested in listening to them, but he didn't dare to stay there, means to stop for even for a while. So Ganesha went back to his home. But the next day, early morning, when Ganesha was about to take breakfast, which his grandmother used to prepare, he heard some sound from outside. Maybe somebody was calling him. He went outside and saw that the same person, the housemaster, the landowner, he was there outside the house. He said, Ganesha, from today you come to my home and work. Feed my cattle and I'll pay you some money. Ganesha was very happy. At the age when children need to go to school, Ganesha went to work to a master's house. And he was happy. He was happy because he had got some work, fixed work. Actually, when he was a worker in village, Pagambarpur, he didn't get proper work. And when there is no work, no money, no penny. So the grandparents had become so old that they could not work in anyone's field. So only Ganesha, at the age of 10 or 11, he was able to do different works in people's field. So today, Mr. Shahi, the landowner, he called him to his house and asked Ganesha to feed the cattle, take care of the house, do some housework, and he'll pay him monthly salary. Ganesha used to work from morning till night. Early morning he used to go to Mr. Shahi's house, and there he used to stay for the whole day. While returning in the evening, Mr. Shahi and his wife, if they felt mercy, they used to give 2 or 3 chapatis to Ganesha, and he ate it. But someday he had to go home without chapati, and he used to take the same food which his grandparents used to take. One day an incident happened. Ganesha, he used to work here and there, but his ear, sense organ, his ear was there where the housemaster used to teach his own child. Ganesha used to just listen to him. He used to listen to him, and listening to the words of the housemaster, Mr. Shahi, Ganesha was habitual to listen to him. He used to learn tables. Those tables which the landowner's son used to revise or memorize, and Ganesha, he used to just listen to him. 2 1 ja 2, 2 2 ja 4, 2 3 ja 6, 2 4 ja 8. So this way, it was a kind of memorizing. It's a typical maths. Ganesha used to listen to Mr. Shahi's son, and he used to just memorize it. He used to just listen to it, but automatically it used to be fit in his mind. One day, Mr. Shahi asked the question from his son, and when his son couldn't tell him the tables, Mr. Shahi started beating his son because he was so annoyed. He didn't want that his son would go so rough and bad. Means he should tell him the tables at least. Ganesha was sitting at a distance. Ganesha asked Mr. Shahi, "Sahab, may I tell you the table? मैं पहाड़ा बताऊं?" Mr. Shahi said, "You shut up. What do you know?" कहा, नहीं कुछ नहीं. Mr. Shahi was interested. कुछ नहीं means what? What did you say? नहीं, वो जिस बात के लिए आप बाबू को मार रहे हैं, I know the table. You know the table? Tell me. So it was in those days in Hindi it used to be 19, 19, 1990, 38, 93, 57. So Ganesha told the tables of 5. Mr. Shai interested. He said he asked about the table of 9. Ganesha told it. Then he asked the table of 13. He told him. Then he asked the table of 17. Ganesha told him. The table of 19. Ganesha told him. So Mr. Shai was so excited and happy that he really exclaimed with happiness that my servant, who is not being taught, is so intelligent. And Ganesha, from that day Ganesha he started going to school. Mr. Shai said, you will go to school, primary school of the village. And Mr. Shai, he was a merciful person, and his wife too. Both used to care for Ganesha. In the meantime, Ganesha lost his grandparents. And what he could do? He had no one to take care of. But Mr. Shahi, who was interested and happy with the performance of Ganesha in studies, he kept him at his home. Ganesha used to go to primary school. From there, when he returned, he used to do the houseworks, taking care of cattle, taking care of his master's son's shoes, cleaning the bicycle, cleaning the bike, taking care of house chores, everything. And Ganesha, that time class 5th had its own board exam, and Ganesha topped in the district. Mr. Shahi was so happy, and he sent him to middle school, after that to high school. Ganesha completed +2 from his village. And now Ganesha used to call Mr. Shahi Dada and Mrs. Shahi Ma. It was very simple. Dada and Ma were all in all for Ganesha, because Ganesha didn't have any, since he had lost his parents as well as his grandparents. Now he went to university, and there he worked hard, and he achieved good marks. While he was pursuing his graduation, he appeared in the state examination for job, and he was selected as Lekhpal. He became Lekhpal because he had he had crossed the age of 18. He became Lekhpal of in state government. He was posted to some village, and he started his journey of service. Mr. Shai, he used to visit Ganesha. Sometimes when hard times were there, Ganesha used to help Mr. Shahi and Mrs. Shahi, his Dada and Ma, and this way the life was running. And one day Ganesha had accidentally a meeting with a girl named Sonali. Sonali was beautiful. She was really beautiful, and Ganesha, he fell in love with her. And gradually this love story started growing. It was very complicated. Ganesha was depended on Mr. Shahi and Ma, who were not his parents. It was very tough. While Sonali didn't know that Ganesha doesn't have his own parents, she thought that Mr. Shahi and Mrs. Shahi, they are his parents, because he used to tell her. When it was confirmed that Sonali had fallen in love with Ganesha, she asked him to go ahead, like she wanted to marry him. Ganesha asked her to sit beside him, and he told her his own complete story. Sonali was shocked, because she never hoped that she would love a person who doesn't have parents, even who doesn't have good reputation. Ganesha told her that he used to work at Mr. Shahi's house, and from there his journey to as a serviceman. He told everything. Sonali was unable to accept it, because she had good background. Her father was a rich person. Now, when she fell in love with Ganesha, Ganesha was in job, but his family background was very poor. It was not acceptable by a good family. And Sonali, she could not accept Ganesha's history. And one day, she told Ganesha that she would not meet him again, never the next time. Ganesha was shocked. He was so sad. That time, the medium of communication was correspondence, sending letters and reply. Ganesha received a letter from his father, means Mr. Shahi, as he was as father figure. There was written that Ganesha's marriage was fixed by Mr. Shahi and Mrs. Shahi, and in the same district where Ganesha was working. Ganesha was surprised, but because he was sad, he didn't say anything, and he accepted that wherever his father, Mr. Shahi, will fix his marriage, he would go. The day of appointment came, and the girl's parents came to see the child, means the bridegroom. And Ganesha was there. While all of surprise, they were Sonali's parents. And sometimes Sonali used to tell her father about Ganesha, and now she has told everything. The parents of Sonali were so unhappy. Why didn't you tell me the reality, Mr. Shahi? Mr. Shahi said, he is my son. Though he is not born to us, he is my son. But the society, nobody can reject it. Society is so cruel sometimes. And Ganesha's love story was once again broken. And Sonali left Ganesha because he had a poor background of his family. And the love story ends. This way, Ganesha was so unhappy, and he get into engaged with a girl from his own village, from his own caste, and the day he thought love doesn't exist when there is everything is caste and religion. The story completed. Thank you very much. Namaskar.